Good morning. You made it then. You shouldn't really have had those extra 10 minutes in bed really, should you? But you're here just in time. I've only been here for about 10 minutes myself, but it was just enough time to get a shot of this fabulous pink sky that we've got this morning. So yeah, Seat Robert. Not the highest point in the Ralfland Forest, but probably the most prominent. And it's got this interesting summit cairn and little shelter and piles of rocks. You know of me, do love a good rock. So that's what I'm doing this morning, taking a shot, looking this way towards the Pennines. We're right on the edge of the Lake District National Park, very close to the village where I live in Shap. And if we look in that direction, you just make out Cross Fell. Cross Fell is in the Pennines. It's the highest point in England that's outside the Lake District. Sunrise isn't for another 5 minutes, so we've got plenty of time, and it's going to take a little while for the sun to get up above the hills in the distance, and inevitably we have a bank of cloud on the horizon. So we're probably not going to get direct light for a good 15-20 minutes perhaps, I reckon. Actually, seems like I couldn't have been more wrong. That sun is already peeking over the hills in the distance. Fantastic, great big red globe. I better get a move on if I want to get a shot of this. I'm going to have to go and completely recompose my shot. So you probably know the drill by now. Cairn to one side, rising sun to the other. And I'm bracketing. The dynamic range is far too much. And essentially what I'm doing, starting 3 stops under, and I am coming up a stop every time. And I will keep going until I've completely blown out the sky and I've got all the detail that I need in the foreground. And then those will get blended together in Lightroom when I get back. See how it comes out. If you are shooting into the sun like this, you do run the risk of getting lens flare. And if you want to reduce the chance of that, you want to take all your filters off. Now, the filters that I use, case filters, the optical quality on those is absolutely fantastic, but the more glass you put in front of your lens, the bigger risk you have of getting lens flare. And so you really want to take them off. Time really flies on mornings like this. It's already half an hour after sunrise, and so I've stopped shooting towards the sun and I'm now shooting with the sun off to the right hand side. So we've got some nice side light and just catching little bits on the rocks. Looks really nice. I'm using this trigonometry point as a bit of foreground interest leading up to the rocks in the background. That's why I've got the camera set really low. There's quite a gap between the trig point and the rocks. So by getting as low as I possibly can, I cut that distance. And I don't know about you, But if I get a shot in the bag, I tend to get quite lazy. I tend not to worry too much about other shots. An example of that is that I haven't put my filters back on, even though now I'm shooting with the light to the side, I haven't bothered to put the filters back on. I don't really need it. The light is still reasonably soft and there's plenty of contrast. The sky's not too bright. So I don't really need filters for this shot. But yeah, I tend to get a bit lazy if I've got a shot in the bag. I'm not sure that's a good thing. It's actually now gone really hazy to the east. I think that's probably the end of the light, or the really good light, for this morning. In total, I've been on location for less than an hour, and I've got 3 shots, which I think I'm pretty pleased with. I mean, you never really know until you get home, do you? And that's going to be enough, I think, for today. I think if you come out and you get 3 shots that you're happy with in an hour, that's not a bad return, I don't think. But I'm not going to head off just yet. I think I'm just going to spend a few more minutes just taking in this view. Because although this is very close to me, it actually took me nearly an hour and 45 minutes to hike up here in the dark. So having made that effort, I think I'm going to make the most of it.